right, with that dangerous heat wave setting in, local leaders are taking measures to protect residents.
Yeah, Keely Arthur is live at the Beacon in downtown Madison to talk about some of the most vulnerable populations affected by this heat. Good morning, Keely.
Good morning. Yes, that's right. We are at the Beacon. This is the city's only homeless day center. And in just an hour and a half, these doors are going to open up, allowing 200 people to come in and cool off. Now, all of our area shelters have issued something called a weather exception because of this heat. And here to explain that a little bit more is Joel Gerard of the Beacon. Good morning, Joel. And
Good morning.
What does that mean?
So the women's shelter and the men's shelter have a 90-day policy. So the families or the single men in different shelters are allowed 90 days. When that time expires, it's hopes that they will find housing or employment or something along those lines. But if they do not, then they're not able to use the shelter facilities unless there's the heat exception night, which both shelters have done. So if our guests are out of nights, they'll still be allowed to go to the shelters and get out of the heat at night.
And you were already in a situation last night where you didn't have enough beds at both Porchlight and the Salvation Army. How did you handle that?
Last night, Friends of State Street Family was able to put a couple people in hotels. We're hoping with it being weather exception nights, everyone will be in the shelters, so Friends won't have to pay that bill, hopefully, but hopefully everyone will be in the shelter. It can be together and be cool for the night. So.
And then a lot of other programs happening during the day as well. I know that you helped educate our area homeless last week about what to do if they start to experience heat issues, medically related. And then talk a little bit about the pools and some of the food that is happening here today.
Okay, so we received a grant from the Goodwin Pool Center, so we're allowed to have our families and our singles and our little kiddos go to the pool for the day, and we'll provide bus passes to get them to the pools. We also have a partnership with Festival Foods, where we have kind of an allotted amount every day to spend, and they provide us with fresh foods and fruits and vegetables, so our guests will have lots of fruit as well. And then we have the River Food Pantry dropping off water as well. So we have a lot of partnerships to try and make it as comfortable for our guests as possible.
All right. Thank you, Joel. So many great services happening both day and night. And the Dane County Emergency Management also wanted to give tips to anybody, not just the homeless. That is to stay cool. If you don't want to splurge on air conditioning, they say you can take a cold shower. Be sure to drink at least 2 to 4 cups of water every hour. You can also find air-conditioned spaces like the mall or library. And if you want additional resources and help, you can always call United Way at 211. And I also spoke with the Dane County official who said it's really important to check on what he called the socially isolated, maybe an elderly neighbor or someone that you don't see out a lot. He says you don't have to like them, you just have to go check on them and make sure they're safe during this heat. Back to you.
Some important advice there, all right? Keely Arthur reporting for us this morning. Thank you, Keely.